Moving on now to Act 4 of the Sumeru Archon quest. We'll be investigating the missing village keepers of Aru village in Act 4, King Deshret and the Three Magi. Which... I'm looking forward to learning more about King Deshret, the Scarlet King. There's just so much to cover there. Also, I'm sensing... Hold on. On the map, I'm sensing the icon. There's the icon for Dendroculus. So I'm just gonna grab it. Since it's right there. Quite the question, isn't it?
You mean the village keepers? Oh, let me think. When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering away and eating mushrooms and tree roots. They shouldn't go around eating that kind of stuff.
Okay. Did you notice anything else?
Anything else? No, I think that's all I have to tell you. Sorry.
Well, that wasn't terribly helpful, but it's a start.
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them?
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes. You look like a real fighter.
Oh, damn it.
Don't change the subject.
Sino, right. Take it easy.
You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. He happened to be staying near my house that day and was doing something with his hands on the ground. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone teach them how to do that? Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad, I wouldn't be able to do anything like that.
Gotcha. Thank you.
It's good to know that Nahida has been, in her own way, looking out for the people of Sumo, despite the fact that the scholars are doing their damnedest to pretend she doesn't exist.
Don't get hurt.
Aha.
Sir, have you seen my grandpa recently? You know, the one who likes to sit and space out near the village entrance.
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. Oh, your grandpa, huh? It's been a while. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food I had prepared, despite my wife's protests. Like many people, she's really quite terrified of them. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora. Might explain why she's always mad at me.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for taking care of him.
It was nothing. You're looking for him, right? Did he go for a walk and get lost?
Yeah.
That's certainly one way of putting it.
Good. Well, once you found him, come by my place again and I'll cook a little something for the both of you.
There's
I've known you
definitely
since
something
you were
going on,
very young.
and it's not
So
good.
as far as I'm concerned, you're family. Please feel free to come by anytime.
Wow, what a nice guy. Okay, thank you, sir.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isak, stay here. Let's head over there. Stay quiet as you move.
Something's up. Glad we have Sino here. Because I didn't pick up anything strange from any of that.
Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here anytime soon. What's your proof?
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know why, but it seems like there's some sort of connection between insanity and the Scarlet King.
Ah,
Isn't
so
it a
he's the
sign of the
madness.
Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the final sacrifice for the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Or alternatively, since the Scarlet King's resurrection is a misinformation campaign by the academia, it's plausible that they're taking advantage of the legends about the Scarlet King and choosing the mad scholars for their experimentation with the Akasha, like the shit the Doctor pulled in the city earlier.
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are finally going to take a turn for the better?
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Ooh, Sino, what you up to?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Okay, maybe dial it back a little.
Yeah. Bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his eyes. One wrong move, and he's gonna flay us alive.
Let's not get on his bad side, okay? I am no match for this guy.
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear and that the Scarlet King will return to this land. I'm not making this up, I swear!
Maybe they're planning to prop Scaramouche up as the reincarnated Scarlet King in order to gain the support of the Eremites? I don't have enough information, just a thought.
Hey, go on. Keep talking.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all praying for the Scarlet King's speedy return. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of
who's
time before we
Delavar?
conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to know more.
Got it! At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please
That is
don't beat me
worrying,
up just
yeah.
for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else around here is also guilty. I'm just saying what the others said.
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Well, it's not that they dislike the Dendro Archon, it's that they dislike the Academia because the Academia scholars are a piece of shit. Well, the Sage, the Grand Sage and
Where
such
is
are
this
pieces of shit.
radical person you talked about?
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village.
No, not at all. We wouldn't dare lie to you.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many others to stop you from sending warning messages. So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you trying to contact anybody. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do just as you say.
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrifying.
A good thing we're not one of your enemies.
He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that before.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places.
Like the scholars'
Very well.
homes. Seems a plausible place to start. In fact, we probably should have started there.
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there. Just follow me.
Yeah, Isak knows where to go. God, the architecture is so good. It's so cool, though.
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa.
I mean, I knew they probably lived on the outskirts of the village. I wasn't quite expecting it to stretch this far. I suppose it makes sense that the village would be bigger than just that central area, though.
Well, this is where Grandpa usually stays.
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't say it's the same one as before.
It's the same one as
But
before.
Are you okay? Are you getting dizzy or need to lie down?
You seem to have
There's a
forgotten
scent
that we're
you
fine
can
with
sense,
that.
but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then he gave us a long lecture to explain all about how it worked.
Yeah.
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too? Are you two friends?
Yes. Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Wait, surely Tainari didn't lecture you too?
No. No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house?
No, meditating
In the
scholar.
forest. From a scholar.
I was under the impression we could mostly handle the scent of that incense now. But I suppose it still affects us to some degree. So I just have a quick look for... it's up there somewhere, I think.
Follow the wind.
Just do a little grappling. I'll mark it for later, because... Wait, no, that's it right there. I can just glide to it. I was expecting it to be a bit higher up, harder to find.
Time to go.
I think most likely something to... If the incense is involved, then maybe they've ended up connecting to Scaramouche, just like our friend did, and yeah, just like Hypatia, and just like we briefly did. And that's very troubling.
What are you looking for, Sino?
Here it is. Take a look right here.
Paimon doesn't see anything.
Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here. From the size and shape, they belong to an adult male. This pattern is a common one from this area. Local shoes. This was probably someone from the village. The scent is quite faint, but still extant. The footprints head in the direction of the door.
Which means we're not the
But
only
who
ones
would
who've
come
been here.
looking for Grandpa? He doesn't have any friends.
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Oh, of course, because they go mad while using the incense, so
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent?
works on you.
What's wrong with liking good food?
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense, since the smell supposedly helps them clear their minds and discover new knowledge. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent whenever it presents itself.
No, Grandpa.
So someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Huh. Still, why would anyone want to abduct all the scholars?
King Deshret.
Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad scholars have something to do with the radicals?
But we know this
It's
is a
highly
misinformation
likely.
campaign.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa's never done anything wrong. Please help him.
Sounds like we'd better help get him back. Don't you worry, Isak. We won't let whoever took him get away with it.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here. After that, we'll set off to find the scholars.
Yeah, it would be handy to check in with Alhaitham and Deo as well. I'm still not... I like Alhaitham a lot. Doesn't mean I trust them. Because they have done some shady shit, albeit mostly for good reasons so far. Good song too. Also, since it's off in the distance there, want to check out that damn pyramid because it's been just hanging there ominously for 2
Darker
updates.
fabric definitely looks a lot better. That'd be my choice too.
We're back, Candace.
Or for an update,
We've
my
got a
bad.
lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too.
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
I thought he was with you guys.
I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he was investigating with you. I guess he must have gone off on his own.
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone used a kind of incense to lead the exiled scholars away from the village.
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it.
I
As
like
know,
that the game
the
tells
kind of
you
incense you
the
just
other names
mentioned
for
is
things.
only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are
text.
fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. No seller would be able to make a profit here. Not to mention, making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
The academia
Makes
because
sense.
misinformation.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the academia and search for leads there?
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team, so you get an extra tip. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Enger, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. The whole lot of them are known around these parts.
Wait,
These
Port
guys
Almost?
have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the Academia.
Honestly, not that opposed to their goal,
Throwing
given...
all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in the desert. Anyway, that's my guess why they've chosen to become radicals.
Disagree with their methods.
You're amazing! You really know this place inside and out!
Oh, she knows we're being spied on.
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every more I've spent in the tavern has been a valuable investment.
You can tell
Let's
yourself
head
that
out.
if you want.
Now hold on, you're staying right here, Sino.
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on making connections out here. Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust.
Oh, she's selling herself short on
I
purpose
need to
just for
go
being
around and
listened
ask
to.
some questions. But it'll be difficult if you're with me.
Fine.
Good. Then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebat with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken. Sino, you'll have to stay in the village and continue investigating on your own.
Alright, sounds like a plan!
We're baiting them so that they try to lure us into a trap. Knowing damn well exactly how this will go.
Sino, please don't take offense. I'm sure Dia just wants to help everyone solve their problem as quickly as possible. That's why she can be so straightforward at times.
I don't mind.
Ah, I see. Well, from the way you were staring out into the distance, I thought you might have been mulling over Dia's words.
No, I'm used to being treated that way. It's natural to fear strength. I take no objection to it.
I highly doubt she fears your strength. This is all part of the plan. Yeah, just do a little teleport.
Well, here we are again!
On the way back
Sounds
might
like
take a
you're starting
detour.
to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even exist? It's almost unreal.
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose, keeping out people like us.
Well, that's
Sumeru is
depressing.
run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used and discarded at their whim. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing more. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The Academia believes we're underserving.
Yeah.
Geniuses like Sataria are one in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the Academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
But not surprising.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Give it time.
Hey, Dia. You're not thinking about doing anything anything scary, are you?
No, not at all. This place just gets me thinking, that's all. Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those...
Shh. Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. We don't want anyone to find out what we're here for. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find someone I know. Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't see anyone you know?
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land?
Something like that.
Hello, hello. I'm Zaki. Dia's, how would you put it? Drinking buddy?
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Edgar, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe Delavar and his friends might be interested. Know where I could find him?
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know that Delavar's been having a hard time making ends meet these days. So, you came here to help him out?
That's the gist of
Hey,
it.
keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides, Delavar and his...
Yes, how considerate of you. Delavar's my friend too, so of course I can take you to him. Come with me.
Time to walk into a trap. Good thing we're prepared for this. Oops. I should just take the door.
Are we there yet?
Yep, this is the place.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Waiting for us.
Why don't you take a guess? Go on, a wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Oh, we knew this was coming. Come on.
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you've teamed up with people from the Academia to look for the missing scholars.
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. I knew leaving Sino behind was a mistake!
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you are? You really thought we'd fall for your little business deal nonsense?
So you and Delavar have been partners all along.
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising in Sumeru. There's nothing more we'd like to see than the desert folk overthrowing the academia.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second of it.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Edgar, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the Scarlet King despise the most.
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Archon. Little did I know, you don't deserve to join us.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless rumors. Anything else I'm missing out on?
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me.
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Well, quite.
Following orders.
Illusion shattered! Enshroud!
Oh no! We were prepared for you. It's almost like we lied.
What do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real fighting. That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of others. That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
Well,
You
duh.
were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in Aru Village?
You mean you didn't pick up on it?
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple suspicious-looking people while you were out investigating.
Oh, but instead of catching them right away, you let them report back.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house?
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, are the nicknames they came up with for themselves. Alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how the Scarlet King is a superior deity.
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impressions.
Wow, what a
Clever
genius
indeed.
idea!
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before,
About what?
about how mercenaries only care about Mora, and that anyone's a friend as long as there's a profit.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, Do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
I wouldn't blame you.
You two
The
are pretty
Academia have
sharp.
given her one hell
No,
of a...
I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand her devotion and gratitude. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were truly compassionate. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler, lend me a hand. Let's tie him up and bring him to the village.
Yeah, sooner the better.
This should be all of them.
All right. I'll be in touch. Until then, please stand by.
Candace, do you need any help?
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you can too. She's been guarding Aru village for quite some time now. If anyone is qualified to question the offenders, it's her.
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass some time by exploring the area?
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots, let's just hope they live to see another day.
Yeah, what better time to... let's
You
ease off
heard
a
the
little.
question. Now answer me.
Sounds like she's got him handled.
Candace is an expert at dealing with people like this. All we have to do is wait for her word.
And that gives us some time to do that, to check out that thing I was going to investigate. Because something I'm really curious about is this area up here, the Eye of the Sands. I want to take a closer look at it. So, instead of just fast forwarding to the next day, we're going to climb up here. And then go from there...
Keep up.
To the Eye of the Sands. I say as I go in completely the wrong direction, but still find a fast travel point. Still, shouldn't be too tricky. Just climb on up here.
Ah, it's so hot. Even a mist.
Ah, okay, it's an anime thing.
Melt in this heat. Now that I think about it.
I do desperately want to go investigate that pyramid as well, but I think that I'll save for a bit longer, because that's a whole nother area, and that we're probably going to end up going there as part of the story. If we don't, then
Time to go.
Sure, I'll go investigate it, but I feel like at some point in Act 4 we're going to have to go over there, so... Of course, now we can see it Now we can see it a lot closer. There's... Oh, Gino. Why is it always the squeaky toy when I'm recording things, Gino? Come on. Anyway, just gonna keep heading on up. And then we can ride the winds a bit higher and glide down onto that ruin. We're going to have to activate all the teleport points sooner or later. Haven't seen that many new enemy types yet, but we also haven't been doing a lot of combat in the desert yet.
Enshroud! I hear everything! The wind knows.
Speaking of combat...
With wind and cloud! Shine down! Can't see?
What have we got
Why is there
here?
a chest here?
A recipe for a wilting desert hut. I mean, it's a hell of a view. I suppose it makes sense that the rainforest flows directly into the desert like that when you consider that the rainforest was effectively built artificially by the Dendroarchon, right? Assuming I'm remembering that right.
Keep up.
Ah, Dendrodronum even in the desert. So we tagged the warp point there, and then we want to head to the far end of the Eye of the Sands, exploring as much of it as we can on the way. And why not mess with the treasure hoarders while we're here?
Another
One with nature. There is no escape. One with the I'll bury you. I'll uproot you.
There we go. Oh cool, the scarab was like making a ball of sand. I'm assuming that was the scarab. Oh, the teleport point's right there. I thought it was... For some reason I got it into my head that it was under here somewhere.
I'll catch up.
But yeah, let's just do a little exploring. There's an entire giant ruin structure down here on the map that I'm just kind of fascinated by what could be in here. And for all I know, this is also part of the main quest, and we'll end up coming back here, but it's still worth a look.
Time to go to work. Illusion shattered. Enshroud.
Nothing like mercenaries.
Into the wind. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night.
We'll meet again.
Mercenaries and treasure hoarders. Piece piece of cake. Can't even really see the bottom from here. Gonna sort of skirt round the outside, collecting things, see if anything turns up. Oh, this is a long one. Collect 14. Just when I said we hadn't met any new enemies yet. Okay, primal constructs. Distinct from ruined machines, these fire out their components while entering an invisible state with their core. Use catalyzed reactions or electro attacks to cancel the invisibility and immobilize the cores from overclocking. Oh, this is gonna be fun. But I've also missed a dendro particle somewhere, so I'm gonna just... It's up there. There we go.
One with nature. Shine down.
Not a colour of health bow I've seen before.
Keep up. I hear everything. Into the wind.
Still, these aren't anything we can't handle.
Inazuma shines eternal.
I better check what the dogs are up to. Sorry about that. Over-enthusiastic dog landed on the controller. Still don't know what they were actually on about. What they were actually after.
Illusion shattered. Can't see.
My best guess is that it's getting close to. It's getting close to food time, but it isn't that time yet. They're just being. They're just being asses, really.
Smells like something good is inside.
Right. Let's see what we've got here. The Sacred Seal of Thunderstrike. Presumably... Wrong tab. Presumably this is part of the puzzle. There it is. A stone plate with ancient text on it that seems to have once been part of a certain building. The shape is derived from the lightning that is ever so rare a sight in the desert.
Keep up.
So we probably have to take that to one of the larger structures and then it opens something. Maybe it's trying to like the pillars in Leeway that you used to have to, well, that you still have to collect a whole bunch of items to open. Of course, those were also tied to world rank, so yeah, it's possible that maybe it connects to these. maybe I can climb up and plug it into to where the sort of power line ends. That seems reasonable. This is something I can interact with? Yeah, it was worth a shot. This does look like something though, like it's not fully activated, I guess. So maybe if I can find an entrance somewhere. There's something to be done inside here. Yeah, let's... There might be a way in down here. Yeah. Yeah, there's just straight up an entrance. So maybe I have to tinker with something inside here and it will... These structures, known as plinths of the secret rites, may be found within King Deshret's ruins. Use them to control mechanisms within the ruins, but you need special clearance to use them. And another of these. The Sacred Seal of Ceremony.
Time to go.
See, this looks like... It's probably just a puzzle I don't have all the pieces to. Of course, that can be fixed.
There is no escape.
Sooner or later.
Enshroud.
Let's just... Yeah, let's head for the fast travel point, and then we can mark that and take a little break. Come back to this on the next stream, because I'm almost definitely missing something with the puzzle there. Also, this place is just way bigger than I thought it would be, and we've pretty much we've waited long enough, and now the quest is up, so can just mark the fast travel point and then see what those guys we caught have to say for themselves. Because this chapter, there's got to be something more about the Scarlet King than just than just meeting more of his followers. Maybe we've got to uncover something. Especially since the story in general has just taken such a turn recently. In a good way. Like, the story has ramped up way faster than I'd anticipated for Act 3. But yeah, let's get back to tracking down the missing village keepers.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment now.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Candace pretty well. Have you been friends for a long time?
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against others.
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight outside the ring.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of responsibility. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great, too.
Really? Thanks for that.
So I noticed I have no idea what to say.
And he's pretty early, too.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help about? By doing what?
By being
Sharing
terrifying?
some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught Candace some more persuasive methods?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
There's definitely a little more to... Like, what was their plan after they got rid of the scholars? Like, what was their end game here?
What gave it away?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true bloodlust. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your mouth.
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry. I'm sure everyone present would agree.
Yes, ma'am.
Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
Yeah,
You
she is
fear
just as
death
terrifying.
yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy! Please have mercy!
You've made your bed.
We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one.
As his descendant, I guess you know that more than most.
Which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have. And that is not a responsibility that you can afford to shoulder.
We understand. We're sorry. I'll tell you everything I know. Please, just let us go.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get anything we wish for.
The mystery
They're
man from
called
the
Village
academia,
Keepers.
clearly.
Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talked us into helping him. In return, he said he'll help facilitate the resurrection process.
Yeah, but where are they now?
I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Wait, I'm telling the
Normally
truth.
I'd say he
We
was
don't know
being harsh,
anything.
but I
was
get
all
it.
him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery guy takes them from there. You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. And he's always careful to cover his...
What do you mean?
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of could be from the academia.
No shit.
Some time
The one
ago,
thing we know is that they're
people
from the academia.
attempted to take the village keepers away. I refused, insisting that they are part of our community. It strikes me now that this secretive character shares the same goal they had.
Which means it's highly likely that the Academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the village keepers right into their hands.
That's what I've been saying.
They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back? We aren't gonna let that happen.
Not the Academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village keepers?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the Academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit the scholars.
If they're gonna make a dream factory, why not use people they don't value?
Regardless,
They
our
only
top
got their plans
priority now
screwed
is
up before
locating the
because we
village
happened to
keepers.
be there.
You're right. Isak is still waiting for news on his grandpa.
Which
Time
means
to
we
go.
need to find him.
Let's leave the village and try to track them down.
Yes. Pack up and get ready to leave.
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside the village to us.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
And that seems like a great place to leave the quest for now. We will continue. Well, looks like I've actually got to leave the village chief's house as part of the quest, so if a cutscene plays, we'll see that first, but this will be the tail end of the stream for tonight.
Let's get some food in us and then we'll... Whoa! Where did you come from?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages! And now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself?
You weren't even here for the whole investigation. What the hell have you been doing?
Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Oh, don't be a dick.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
All Hatham. You haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Both of you just need to get along already.
Yeah,
but he's right.
you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Candace said? Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance to them. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you arrived. The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce unpredictability into the equation.
Those eyes. Those fierce eyes.
I'm here.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking about the
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the Radicals' next target.
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. I usually go to bed pretty early, so I'm not too familiar with what goes on at night.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they act a little strange, they've helped me in the past. If it weren't for them, my house would have collapsed long ago.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much awake during that time.
She contradicted herself in her story. But she's lying because she's scared of Sino and because she's involved in something.
She risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
And with that little revelation, this is a fantastic place for us to end the stream for tonight. So, we'll be continuing with Act 4 next time, which will probably be... I'll make an announcement once I've got the schedule down, but it's probably going to be next Wednesday. Until then, have a wonderful evening. This has been Tom, also known as Silverfin, and goodbye.